So let's go ahead. Howdy, boys.
Hello.
Say hi to chat.
Just talking about you. Hi, Chad.
Hello, chat.
Oh, let's do some introductions, right? Let's start with you on the top of the stream room. Well, we're going up from top down to bottom. Can you go ahead and introduce yourself, good sir?
I am Dragon Saint. Brand new to the hobby. Never actually played a game. Came in via tabletop RPGs, Dark Heresy, and looking to learn the ways of strategic wargaming combat.
Oh, you said Dark Heresy. What? Dark Heresy, as in the D&D version of 40K or 40K version of D&D.
Yes.
Oh, I always wanted to play, but I could never really find a play group.
Yeah, same here. I never even heard of it.
It's a tricky thing. Yeah, it's a tricky thing because they have you trying to play Inquisition acolytes, and the first edition had some serious balancing issues when they started introducing things like Sisters of Battle. And then they also had this conceit where they wanted all of their lines of games to be compatible, which included a line where you played Grey Knights and a line where you played Space Marines. And obviously rolling up with Space Marines alongside normal humans doesn't really make for a balanced game.
Well, we do actually have a channel for Dark Heresy in the server. So if anybody's interested there in starting a play group or anything like that, you guys can go to other Warhammer 40K and then go look for the Dark Heresy channel so that you guys can get something started. Yeah, it's great to make your acquaintance, Dragon Saint. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's introduce our other player. Other player? Yes. Hi.
And yeah, I'm not really new. I've been playing for about 2 or 3 months now.
Okay.
So I'm not really new, but I have got some games on my belt, but not a lot of wins. Now I'm talking about my first tournament ever. I've came dead last night, received a box of dice. It was not fun.
Okay. Sweet. Yeah. It is a little difficult to make out what you're saying, but I could generally make out what you're saying. So it sounds like you've played Warhammer 40K before. That's fine.
Yes.
Have you played have you played Admec? Do you play Admec? Is that kind of like a faction you play a lot?
Yes, my Admec is my main faction. I usually only play Admec. Admec's my main army, and I second in Necrons because the reason is because I got it as it was a good deal. But anyways, yeah. But Admec, I love my Admec. I only have a small force in real life, and it's about this size. But no.
Oh, so that's
on
interesting.
TTS, I play Necrons.
So you actually you collect you actually collect the models then. You play you.
Yes.
Okay, that's cool. So yeah, all right. I think that's a good introduction.
Actually, yeah.
I'm sorry. After a while of doing lots of meetings and stuff like that, and constantly having to rush people, I've developed a really bad habit of just rushing people out of conversation. So if I do that to you, I apologize.
No, it's fine.
All right, so let's go ahead and take a look and see how these lists work. We'll do a kind of list breakdown. Now, if you guys are interested in chat to see what these guys are actually playing, I'm going to go ahead and post the spreadsheet so that you can take a look and see for yourself. Today is our Friday stream. Yep. I know it says the streamer is going to be Crackhouse Kaiju, but you got me instead. Sorry. So we have Admec there, the list there. It's in Pastebin, and then the Drukhari list. That's also a link there, so you guys can kind of follow along with what we're looking at here. And so I guess we'll just start from the top. Now, Dragon Saint hasn't actually played, so that's a good thing to kind of have someone that hasn't played. So we're gonna go first with the Jakari. We're gonna look at that list. Let me get that link. Okay, we're good. We're good. All right. So in this list, it's a combat patrol, obviously, and it's running Cabal of the Black Heart. All right, and it has what is it, like a chapter tactic, Thirst for Power? You can go ahead and let me know what that does in the chat so that everybody's on the same page. We're running an Archon with the Ancient Evil, and I think that's the Warlord trait. Blast Pistol, Huskblade. He's the Overlord, Warlord, Right of the Living Muse. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. He's running 3 squads of Kabalite Warriors, 2 8-man squads, and 1 5-man. I'm sorry, is that a 9-man squad? No, that's an 8-man squad. This guy, okay. This, I guess we could look into it. This is a 5-man squad, and this one has the blaster.
Yes.
Yes, yes. So this one's got the blasters, and these all have splinter rifles and 1 dark lance.
Mm-hmm.
So, I believe the dark lances are the anti-vehicle profiles.
Long range, I know that much. They have a 36-inch range, and trying to flick to where are my Kabalite warriors hiding in this book? Here we are. Dark Lance. Yep, AP -4, damage is D3 +3, heavy 1. So
D3 +3. Yep, so kind of like your anti-vehicle guns on these 2 squads here. And then I know the blasters do nasty things anyway. And then we've got 1 squad of Incubi here. If you guys are unfamiliar, these are the melee. These are very smashy, very choppy units. These guys will, in fact, tear up some units if you get into melee range with them. Oh, and then we have a Raider. The Raider is running a Bloodveins, Dark Lance, and Cabal. I think that's just like your standard Raider.
Pretty much just a fully loaded Raider.
Absolutely. And I'm sure that we're going to see a lot of, flying around, shooting, shenanigans, things that Jakari do well.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to know what Thirst for Power does, or do you want me to just...
Yeah, go ahead and, yeah, sure.
Okay, the real space raid bit is irrelevant because we are not running a real space raid. We treat the current round as being 1 higher for the purposes of the Drukhari's Power from Pain ability that they almost all have. So we start with a 6+ invuln save and Eager to Flay, which gives us eligible to declare a charge in a turn which we advance.
Mm-hmm.
Across, I believe, everybody. Did Incubi have it? Yep, they have Power from Pain, so everybody gets to enjoy the benefits of that. We get to add +1 to the leadership characteristic of all models with that obsession, which is everybody who is Cabal, I believe. Sessions are for Cabal units, so I don't think the Incubi gain the benefit of that as far as I know, but all the Kabalites do.
Okay.
As far as I know, I'll have to triple check what obsessions do, but and then every time a unit with a obsession is selected to shoot or fight, you can reroll 1 hit roll when resolving that unit's attacks.
Yes.
So,
okay. So, a lot of things to keep track of, but, we'll try our very best to keep track of all those special rules. Sounds like you're on them, though. And, yeah, so that's Jakari. That's going to be run today. And we're going to go ahead and move over to the Admec. And I think actually, Hanging, if you want to go ahead and introduce us to your list, we will listen.
Sure. So yeah, my warlord's gonna be Marshall, and he's just gonna be there to give the good neither the deprecation effects of all the stuff, and also as a warlord trait, he's gonna give the warlord trait, which will be programmed retreat, so they can fall back and shoot. You must select a model on the battlefield that has the data tether or within 9 inches. So it's a good trait to have, especially if I'm going to go into melee and I want to back out and I want to shoot at them again and do it over and over and over. It's quite good. And as a Manipulus, it's only meta and the best to do the Manipulus with Jakari, Vanguard, or Rangers. So, this is. Then as well, I have 2 Sidonian Dragoons, just to get in there and just to sit on the objectives and keep points. As well as I have a 10-man of Vanguard, but it seems like the alpha hasn't spawned, unfortunately. So it'll be in spirit. And then I have another 10-man Rangers. Both units are very good. Both of them have OPSEC. And I'm going to run the Korea list, which is basically that if I can't fail morale, which is really nice, especially with these OPSEC units. And if you even come in with a lot of units, I can't lose. So I can't die with morale. And as well as that, I also gives me, if I would have lost a wound as a mortal wound on a 5-up, I won't lose that wound, which is the refusal to heal dogma, which is quite useful. And I'm not going to use the Korea warlord trait and all that other stuff. And I'm also going to run Scar Electro Priest for some good melee. They are okay, but they can also shoot and do a lot of damage when charging and stuff. I'm just going to do one thing, and that's going to spin the CP beforehand, give my Manipulus. This is not on the data sheet, because I literally just thought of it, could do this and would work better. To give the call again. I'm just going to get the name of the thing.
Okay. Is that everything on the list?
Yeah. Yes, and I'm just gonna get. So I'm just gonna. Yeah, I'll declare reserves and I will do that. Okay, I'm ready. Yeah, that's my list.
Awesome. So yeah, it almost seems like we're streaming an alpha game here right now, right? Like we're just getting into the list breakdown. But we also have to remember that we are actually teaching people how to play here, so we're gonna have to talk a little bit about these rules here. So you guys heard about the list breakdown, and lots of things have kind of went through. We talked a bit about some special abilities, warlord traits, and things like that. However, we're going to get into the basics of how a list is composed. We're playing a 500-point game right now, which means that we're generally running 1 detachment. I believe the limit is 1 detachment or 2. I think it's 2 detachments.
I think theoretically you can do
2,
2, but you'd struggle to build a 2 detachment 500
yeah,
point army.
especially with this, with the CP limits as well. It's going to be really, really difficult.
Right, because but before we get ahead of all that, so just know that you have 500 points to play with, and every unit, every model in your roster will count towards the point value. Now you need to bring very specific units into your list to make it a legal list. So for example, here we have an HQ. Where's your HQ?
Archon.
Okay, here he is. He's the kind of the commander type of the list here. And then you're going to need to bring at least 2 basic troop types in this instance. He's got 3 because he can fit that much in there. But, at the minimum, you're bringing this. But when you're making a list, and you can use Battlescribe, and for you guys who don't know how to use Battlescribe, there's a very good video series that I've done where I go over how to craft your list with Battlescribe. BattleScribe is a program that helps you with creating your lists and getting those together. So yeah, Archon and so every unit, every model has a point value to it. We've got the HQ, we've got the troop types here, and then we've got an elite troop type here and a dedicated transport troop type here. Let's go ahead and get into, what did I do? I just did something. Okay. All right, so what you're seeing now is the BattleScribe to TTS feature. I am not trying to overwhelm you, but try to bear with me here. When you import your list, when you do all your list crafting and you're ready to bring your list into the tabletop space, you will use most likely a program slash website app called BattleScribe to TTS. You use BattleScribe to craft your list, and then you import it with BattleScribe to TTS. Again, I go over this in great detail in my video series on how to use these things. Okay, so the model is imported, and now we get to look at this beautiful, beautiful screen here. It's got all the things that we need to know, everything that we need to see and reference. It's all here for us. You press numpad 1, by the way. Numpad 1 is how you open up this screen here. And so we're looking at the incubi as our example here, because we're going to actually get into the stats, the stat line, the stat block. Don't worry, we'll take it in due time. All right, so looking at the incubi, we know that this is in fact an incubi model that we're looking at, and 80 points. I believe that is that per model? Is that per model?
I think that's per unit for the incubi.
Or per unit? 80 points, really? That's it? Okay.
Double check.
Yeah, same for my units as well.
I think it's for the model. Can someone confirm for me in the chat?
No, that can't be possible. Otherwise, you can only fit like 5 of them in, and it's almost already 500. So
You're right.
Definitely per unit.
My mathing doesn't make sense. It's 80 points per this unit of incubi, and it's 4 power level, right? And then we have our keywords in here. It's elites, faction, Drukhari, faction, Eldari, infantry, incubi core, blaze for hire. All this stuff we'll get into at a later time or a more advanced video or whatever. But basically, every model in the game has an associated keyword type. Now, likewise, every unit, every model has an ability. Most of the time they do. We can see that lethal precisions and tormentors. These are things that are available for this incubi unit. And then we can get into the very, very important stat line. Okay. So we have two. The spreadsheet is broken down into two rows here. An incubi and a clavex. So a clavex is actually kind of like a sergeant type dude. He's usually going to be the beefier of the models. He's going to have his profile separate from the other incubi. So let's go ahead and take every single, stat here and just kind of define it so that you guys are aware of what they do. As we go and move forward, we will get more in depth into those things and how they work. This is the best way I can teach people. All right, so the first thing is the movement. So M stands for movement on a stat line block. Movement is very, very simple. What's the word? What's the word am I looking for? Concept. There you go. Very useful concept, or very easy concept. 7 inch. It will define an inch in the stat for that, and that is the amount of inches that you can move. If we go ahead here and we hold down the tab, we can kind of see our ruler. When we're playing the game, we're going to be making measurements, and this is going to be for movement. This is going to be for determining range. You're holding down tab to do this, by the way, for you new people who have never measured in Tabletop Simulator. So, yeah, 7 inches of movement is what is available for this squad of incubi. Let's go back into the stat line. Let's go look at the WS and BS. Okay, so I'm going to group these things together. WS and BS are one in the same They're not the same thing, but they are similar into how they operate and similar to how important it is for the unit. So WS stands for weapon skills, yeah. While the BS stands for ballistic skills. Now this is to determine your hit roll, right? So here for the incubi, weapon skill is used in melee, while ballistic skill is used for range attacks. So in melee attacks, weapon skill of 2 up means that you need to roll a 2 up or better to get a hit. And really that's it, right? Very simple thing. There are modifiers that come into play, such as -1 to hit or +1 to hit. Those things do tend to happen, but remember the 9th edition limits only one modifier can actually take place there. So you can't stack +1s to hit, and you can't stack -2s to hit or -1s to hit. So it's like you can only stack like once in there and modify it up to a value. Right? Does that make sense? Am I explaining that correctly?
Yes, they do. They do say parameters like for your saves until what number you can. The limit is like you can't save on a 1-up.
Yes, you can't save up on a 1-up because that's
That would be
that's
you
important.
never die.
Yes. Like they always specify until what point you can modify it. And in some cases it does stack. For instance, +1 to hit, and then because of certain other circumstances, maybe another +1 to hit. It depends only on your army. For mine, I have those kind of trickeries and stuff, but generally not a lot of those kind of modifiers.
Okay, so I think what he's explaining is that you can in fact stack up modifiers. However, you can only stack them up into a point where it can't go over 2 on the modifier. So like let's say for example that you have a weapon skill of 2 up, right? And you have a +1 to hit. You can't roll a 1 to hit. So, it stays at the weapon skill of 2 up. However, if someone had an ability where it gives you -2 to hit, right? Your weapon skill would actually go down to a 3 up, but it doesn't go to a 4 up. Now, if you had a +1 to hit on there as well, then it would go back to a 1 up. Where's the rule for this?
2 up. You mean?
I'm explaining it, but I don't think I'm explaining it in a very, very good way.
Yeah. It's a confusing thing, but it does make sense when you play.
Yes, when you're actually playing these games and you're like, okay, you get more familiar with this stuff actually starts to really make sense to you, and you actually get it. But just keep in mind that you can only modify any save, anything by a maximum of 1, right? You can stack up your modifiers, but you can only stack them up into a point that it's modified by 1. All right, so same thing with ballistic skill. Ballistic skill only applies to range attacks. You're going to be using, if you're shooting things with long range weapons or guns or pistols or whatever, even grenades, you're going to be using your ballistic skill. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so
Yes, that's correct.
next we're going to get in. I'm sorry?
I was going to say, good luck using range attacks with incubi. They literally don't have one.
That's true. Some units just don't have any ranged weapons entirely. So, that's the norm. That's normal. You will find a lot of that. All right, so let's get into the next values here, and I'll do them together again here too. Strength and toughness. I do these things because they are the same things and not the same things. Like they are 2 values that play with each other. And so I guess you should group them. So strength determines the amount of strength something has, like how hard it hits, I suppose. And toughness is how tanky, how strong and resilient something is. And so you compare these 2 values whenever you're determining if something is wounded. So let's take an example here. We would say, if we look at the Splinter Rifles profile, we see that it's a strength 2. Basically,
Yes.
the modifiers be it buff or debuff first subtraction from each other, and then if the final sum is +1 or greater, if a minus. Okay, I don't think that's I don't think that's any better than the way that I explained it, but I appreciate you taking the time to explain that to us. Thank you. Basil. Sorry. So okay, let's just say that we take these two models and we're gonna make a shooting attack. All right. So I understand that the strength is 3 under the baseline profile. However, when you're making a ranged attack, you're going to be using the strength of the weapon, right? So we would take the strength 2 and we would compare it to the toughness 3. So we would go ahead and shoot, and my ballistic scale on this model is 3, so we rolled a 3. That means we hit. Now we're going to determine if we're going to wound the model. So strength 2 to toughness 3. And there's actually a wound chart to help us identify this quicker, but I've already kind of memorized it, and a lot of people have memorized this. But basically,
yeah, it's much easier to memorize this.
Yes, and this edition is the 2 wound chart is much easier. So if your strength is equal to the toughness, it's 4 up, right? It's a 4 up. If your strength is greater than the toughness, it's a 3 up. If your strength is double the toughness, it's a 2 up. Okay? And then if your strength is lower by 1 or more, it's going to be a 5 up. And then if your strength is half of the toughness, it's going to be a 6 up. So just kind of,
okay.
I wish I had the chart. If anybody knows of a chart, a 2 wound chart, like if we can just like add that to this room, I would be so happy so that I could refer that to everybody. But let's go back to the concept we were talking about before. So, okay, the strength of this weapon is 2, and we compare that to the toughness of this Kabalite warrior, which is a 3. That means that we're going to need a 5 up to wound. And then we're only doing the very basic stuff, right? We're not accounting for any special ability that these guys have. If I'm going a little too fast for you guys, don't worry. We're going to be going through it many more times throughout this game. You're going to be very familiar by the end of this stream, and you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about. Let's wrap up the stat line block here. So we know what the strength and toughnesses are. Then it's the wounds. Wounds are basically the HPs, the hit points of your models. Some models have multiple wounds. Some of them have 2, even 3. If you're a Space Marine player, your basic troop types are going to come with 2 wounds each. So just on your basic boys. On these guys right here, they only have 1 wound each. So that means if they take a wound, one of these models is going to die. All right. Attacks are, that's the A here. Attacks give you an idea of how many attacks a model can make with their weapon at a base level, right? So in this instance, let's go ahead and take a look. They literally don't have any weapons. They don't have any melee weapons.
Nope.
So
someone just shared the wound roll chart in the Discord.
In the scheduling channel.
Oh, they did?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I will grab a copy of that. And okay, so it's actually an image. Okay. Thank you, Aaron. I appreciate you. If you guys go take a look at the TTS scheduling channel, you can actually see. I'm gonna just link this here for you guys so you can see the wound chart. You should be able to look at it through that link. What were we talking about? Oh, attacks. Okay. So
Attacks, yep.
These guys don't actually have any melee weapons, but they still have the ability to make melee attacks, right? So every model, every unit in this world, even vehicles, monsters, even guardsmen can make a melee attack. All you got to do is look at the baseline. All right, you would take their attacks, and then you would take their strength, and you would take their weapon skill, and those are the values that you're going to need to determine how your melee attacks work. But we're not going to get into all of that. Again, we're going to just kind of proceed. The next value that we have here is the leadership value. That's LD. Leadership determines how resilient that a unit is when people die. Their bravery, their courage in the face of danger and death.
Or in the case of Drukhari, how terrified they are that they'll be flenced alive if they run.
Yeah. Although it doesn't seem very fluffy to me that a Jakari would run in fear, because they feed off fear. So
yeah, but they also don't want to die because some of them can't afford the revive fee.
I guess
Well,
they.
it's the same for my army, because literally my army is just guys as robots. They are supposed to not run at all.
I guess they assess how much it is worth to them to stick around.
That can be true.
So I guess that yeah. Either way, generally speaking, leadership is just how courageous and brave your unit, your model is in the face of war and death and all this other stuff. We'll get into the morale phase here. Just know that these values are there for a reason, and we will talk about this when we actually have casualties. They interface with what happens when a model sustains heavy losses, or any losses, I guess. Let's move on to the next. Yeah. Do you want to add something?
I just wanted to say, in my case, there's not going to be anything of that case. Because I automatically passed morale. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
With my arm.
I'm sorry. I just realized that Kyle's Kaiju was in the lobby, so he's going to be joining us here, and eventually be taking over my place, as I have Painting with a Twist not too long from now. So
yeah,
That's
no
fine.
problem. Hola.
yes. So all right. So the save. All right. Saves are basically how resilient your unit is, your model is, like how good their armor is. It's very similar to how the weapon skills and ballistic skills work, where it gives you a value plus, right? So in this case, we're looking at Cavalite Warriors. They have a 4-up. That means you need to roll a 4-up, 4 or better to shrug off, damage. However, there is something called Armor Pen, or AP, and that can actually negate that value. So if something shoots you with AP -1 to your 4-up save, it means that you're going to need 5s to shrug off the wounds. There are a lot of different things that go with the survivability of your units, such as invulns, feel no pains. I don't think we actually have that. Maybe on the Admec side.
Yeah, I have it.
Yep.
That's
We
great.
just have inured to pain. We have inured to pain on our side. Sorry, inured to suffering. 6+ invuln.
So you get invulns and toasters. That's great.
Yeah, the same on my
That's
side
cool.
as well.
That's cool. But yeah, so again, don't feel stressed if you're not getting everything. I mean, we're not explaining it 100% the best, but you will be, as we're playing this game, you will see what we're talking about, and you will be familiar, because this is very core to the game. And if you want to kind of look at what I'm talking about, you can always visit this link that I'm posting in the chat as well, so that you can look and see what I'm talking about. All right, so I think that's good. I think we can kind of move on to actual game setup.
Okie dokie.
Yes. So this is more with TTS in general. If you're playing with Tabletop Simulator, you're more likely going to find yourself on this map because let's just be real here, FTC map is just what everybody uses, and you know, we're gonna just kind of go over briefly how this works and how to set this up for your games so that you can go ahead and get those started as well on your end. So over here towards the top of the room, this is a modified version of the FTC room, by the way. However, it's not that different. You're gonna see something kind of like this where you have your game in the center and your dice trays on the side, and then over here you'll have towards the top the score sheet. Now we're playing Eternal War because Eternal War is the basic thing, and for some reason the spreadsheet broke. That's because I accidentally hit numpad 9. So what I'm gonna have to do is fix this real quick. Delete. Give me one moment.
Yeah,
Yeah, I guess this could be added into the tutorial, I guess. How to fix a broken spreadsheet if you hit numpad 9 by accident. That is a bug that I have brought up with the current maintainers of this mod. So if you guys could go ahead and press that really quick. Okay, and then player 1, that can be you, Dragon. There you go. So you click on these tabs right here, and this will assign your side. We are going to be playing on the Eternal War mission pack. Eternal War is the very basic bitch kind of mission pack that GW includes with the core rules.
Yes.
And so that's what we're going to be using here. But there are others. There's the GT 2021 if you're into the competitive stuff. There is the Crusade, I believe. Endless Crusade.
Yeah, that's Crusade as well.
Yeah.
Which is a lot more difficult
Nobody plays
to understand.
that. Nobody likes that.
Yeah.
How? Pain?
Yeah. No,
Pain
seriously,
back
nobody
up?
likes that. Okay, so Eternal War is what we're playing. Let me see here. Let's go to, because I want to give you guys a mission pack to look at as well. Where is it on this? Calculating. Is it under matched play? Eternal War. Yes. Okay. So I'm just gonna link this to you guys as well because I understand that some of you guys may be wanting to follow us where we're at. But here you go. Here's a link to the Wikipedia.ru. This is where you can actually take a look at the Eternal War mission pack. Unfortunately, this is not on the GW's PDF for some reason. I don't know why they only give you one mission. But yeah, basically how you would determine your mission, what mission you would be playing on, would be rolling a d6 and then just kind of following through. So right now we know that we're playing a 500-point game, which is a combat patrol. So you would actually come over here and you would look under combat patrol. You see 1 and 2 is incisive attack, 3 and 4 is outriders, and 5 and 6 is encircle. Okay. So can someone roll 1d6 for me so we can determine what mission we're playing? This is the dice tray, by the way. It's a very self-explanatory kind of thing. You just grab the dice, pick up the dice, and you drop it into this box.
Let me try and roll a dice. Shake them.
In
I
here,
Just
in
drop
here.
it in the box.
Drop it in the
okay.
box. There we go.
Okay.
Just left
Don't
it
feel-
over it and let it go.
There we go.
Ah, okay.
That's how this
So
dice
it's
rolling
5.
works. So 5 is going to be encircle. So combat patrol.
Yeah.
We'll come down here and we'll select the encircle. And as you can see, we auto-magically get our deployment zones built into the map for us so that we can kind of decide who's going to take what side, and yeah, where the appointment zones are going to go. So anyway, now before we kind of begin, we need you guys to pick your secondaries. Secondaries are secondary objectives that you can pick up to help you win the game. Secondaries have conditions associated with each of the missions, and if you fulfill those conditions, you gain bonus victory points. So, in the core of it, the way that you score victory points is through the primary objectives that start on battle round 2. You score victory points if you hold 1, if you hold 2, or if you hold more than your opponent. So, some maps have it where it's like hold 2, hold 3. This one has hold 1, hold 2. So let's say in your battle round 2, and it's your turn at your combat, not your combat, but your upkeep, what's the phase called again? Command phase? Yes, your command phase. You would, if you're holding 2 objectives, you would actually tick these 2 boxes, and that would be 10 points. And if it was, if you had more objectives than your opponent, you would actually get 15 points here. But yeah, so we're taking, okay, so we're looking at hanging money. He's looking at attrition and assassinate.
I'm still changing the last one, but I definitely want to take attrition. It's just a generally good one to take. Just 2 more units than your own units. So it's quite nice.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm just getting up the core ones, because I don't think they have the Jakari specific ones.
Mine as well. Mine is not in there, but I'm fine with this because attrition is same part as the one I would have taken. But it's fine. I'm fine with this.
Okay, secondary objectives.
So I'm gonna take engage and attrition.
Okay.
Okay. I guess we're gonna be stopping at 2 and not doing the full 3 because 3 might be a little too much for a beginner.
Yeah.
Attrition.
Usually I play on combat patrol maps. I play with 2 of them, not usually 3, because it's too much. It's a small map. You can't do much. So it's much better to just only have to take 2 for general play.
Ease.
Yeah, for ease, purely for ease.
Yeah, I don't know if you wanted to take over Kaiju. Gonna give him AFK for a few minutes. Okay, no problem. All right, so attrition and engage on all fronts. Okay, so anyway, these secondary objectives, they all have different conditions. Right now, these guys are feeling these secondary objectives, but if you're in the TTS Warhammer 40k and you're in the FTC community map, you can actually hover over and take a look at all the secondaries that are available in your mission pack, by the way. It has to be your mission pack. And you can also see this in the core rulebook as well. Actually, in the match play, you can actually see the secondary objectives. It's in the link that I just posted. Rules for the match play. And briefly, let's just go over what they've picked, what they've decided to go over for this game. So attrition is score 4 victory points at the end of the battle round if more enemies units than friendly units were destroyed at this battle round. So basically, you score 4 victory points if you kill more enemy units than you had destroyed in that turn. Malice tuition.
You were destroyed.
Right. Absolutely. Yes, so in this secondary objective, you're looking to be very aggressive. You're looking to wipe out units, not models, by the way, units. So it can't just be that you killed a few models or anything like that. In this specific secondary, you have to kill units, which are, in this case, whole squads, right? So just keep that in mind. It's not models, it's units. There are some secondaries that deal with model counts, like actual models, but in this case, it's attrition.
That would be tender ranks, which deal with model count.
All right, and so the next one we have here is the engage on all fronts. Where is the table quarters? Okay, where is the button? I think we can just go ahead here.
See it here.
So the way that I'm not going to read the engage on all fronts, I'm just going to explain to you how it works because I've used it quite a bit. Just imagine if the board was cut into 4 equal pieces, straight down the middle. Yeah, hold that. Hold that, you guys. Hold it for me. Okay, cool. So just imagine this, okay? That the board is cut into 4 quadrants, right? All right. You score how many victory points? I think 2.
It's 4 in 3 quarters and 4 in 4 quarters. But you have to be wholly within with 1 unit at least.
Yes, and you has to. Okay, yeah. So, the unit has to be within that quarter, and if it is, then you are considered in holding in that that thing there. Okay, yeah. So you score 2 victory points at the end of your turn if you have 1 or more units from your army wholly within 3 different table quarters. So if you have, it's 2 victory points at the end of the turn if you have units wholly within 3 quadrants, or 3 victory points if you have 1 or more units from your army wholly within each table quarter. So 4 if you can get all 4 quadrants in a turn, or 3 if you, or I'm sorry, or 2 if you get into 3 quadrants. So keep that in mind. This is a secondary objective that is very good for armies that have mobility, that have a lot of movement within the board, and if you're really banking on just running into a quarter of the table and just hiding and tucking away things, that could be a very good source of victory points, and you need your victory points. 9th edition is all about scoring victory points. You need every single last one of them, or you're gonna really miss out.
The other thing is you have to be more than 6 inches from the center of the table, so no clustering everything around the middle of the table and saying we hold all 4 quarters.
Oh yeah, that's true. It has to be. There's like a 6-inch circle that goes around the center. It can't be within that. It has to be on the outside of that. So it prevents things like people just kind of rushing the middle. But you'll be familiar with this, I promise you. All right, so now that we've got our secondaries picked out, we roll for who deploys first. We're attacker and defender, I believe.
Yes, sir.
So we have that first initial roll off here. Let's
roll red.
Let's see. I rolled a 4.
And he rolled a 6. So
yes.
He can choose to be the attacker or the defender. Attacker deploys first.
I will.
Defender first. I'll think about it. Because he's already there and the attacker is arriving. That's how I usually think about it.
I'm sorry?
I thought always it was the defender first. But okay. Never mind.
Is it the defender that gets to deploy first, or is it the attacker that has to deploy first? I believe it's the attacker deploys first.
Yes, attacker deploys first. Attacker gets choice of deployment zone and then deploys first.
Okay. I will choose to defend.
Nice to see McPherson in chat. Seems like he always seems to find me when I'm streaming, even if I haven't been streaming in like 3 years. Okay, so each of the players is going to go ahead and deploy their models, or I'm sorry, deploy their units, and it'll vary between. So it will be first Hanging Money, who is our resident Admec player. He's going to be deploying first because he is the attacker, and then it will then vary between Jakari and Admec again, back and forth until all the units are deployed. Also, you have to declare your reserve units at the beginning of your deployment.
Yes. That's what I wanted to say earlier. for my Manipulus, I'm going to spend a CP and give him the Waller trait, which would be the Quattro-Traumatis. I know my spelling is very bad. Basically, a Cold Mechanicus core unit from your army, I can place him in Deep Strike. So I'm just going to give him that Waller trait.
Okay, so he's going to be giving himself a command point ability where he is going to designate his Manipulus to do something special here for us, and he's going to be able to deep strike his Electro piece because of that. And so what deep strike means is that he will be able to set aside these units and not have to deploy them on the battlefield. However, if he chooses to do that, he cannot deploy them until battle round 2.
Yes, but also the difference is because if I place them in reserves, I have to place them within 6 inches from the battlefield edge. A deep strike basically means anywhere on the battlefield, so it doesn't matter, so thus it's better.
I do not like playing Admec at all, and I don't like people who play Admec.
Why? What was that?
I find that Admec players are a little too try-hardy for me.
I just saw that. Wow. Well,
not biased at all, guys.
Okay.
Not biased at all.
It would have cost me 1 CP anyways to place them in reserves. So it's much better to do it this way, to place them so that I can place them anywhere on the field, and it still cost me 1 CP. So it's much better. That's plain and simple. It's not. I'm not being mean. It's just it's better.
I find that Admec players are the gotcha players of 40k. So you always
yeah,
got those
Malice
rules.
is known for playing his very casual, flavor-based,
Death
list.
Guard with the 2 Contemptors and the three Plague Burst Crawlers. Very, very fluffy, very fun lists, very casual.
Yeah, people don't know that you're a Gene Stealer cult main.
True story, Malice's first game of 9th edition, he played as Admec. I don't remember this. Okay, so let's go ahead and proceed. It is now going to be Jakari's player's turn to deploy, because I think that
I haven't deployed yet, sorry.
Okay.
I was just declaring reserves.
Should I declare reserves or let you deploy first?
Oh, no, you have to declare the reserves first.
Okay.
Are you going to place anything in reserve?
I am going to also spend 1 CP to use the Webway Portal stratagem. I'm going to stick my Incubi in the Webway, and it will be a surprise tool to help us later.
This is not a new
game. So is it also in Deep Strike?
Not quite Deep Strike. I can place them anywhere on the battlefield, but they have to be 9 inches away from any enemy models.
Oh, yeah, that's Deep Strike. Same. Oh, okay.
Okay. Does have a keyword.
Yeah, it doesn't say Deep Strike, but we all know what Deep Strike means.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, generally speaking.
So for the people who don't, right now we're in the deployment phase, and so what you declare is anything that goes into what's called reserves or goes into a transport. There are certain vehicles and other units that are considered transports and can carry a certain amount of models. Putting something into reserves means that it won't start on the battlefield, but will enter the battlefield after turn 1, right? It's turn 2 or later. And there are different rules that go along with that, and people typically refer to that as deep strike.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, and you will see lots of deep striking.
Transports now?
Yeah, on that note, what are you going to put in your transport? Your raider?
That's going to be the 11-man unit of Kabalite warriors.
Oh, okay.
So for those who don't know, this is just a big giant sailboat that holds Jakari, and it's an open top, so that means that they can shoot out of the transport as if they were just on the battlefield. There's some special limitations that come along with that, but we'll see a little bit of that in the game. And then for Admec, I don't know. Admec does Admec things, so we'll see how that works.
Know, something like, we have a tank, but it's not good.
Don't ask me to follow the ruling on the Admec. I mean, Wahhabidi, the RU is where you can start. That's all I can tell you.
Just gonna get these guys ready to place them.
Okay.
Yeah, I think this is going to be interesting. This is definitely a match between two, newer 9th edition codexes, two that are kind of infamous for being pretty powerful.
It's true.
These are very strong armies. I mean, even at 500 points, you will see a little bit as to what makes these things fearsome. We got the chicken bots are in, the electro priests. Yeah, we're gonna see some nastiness here.
These chickens aren't really that good. The Ballistari are much better. Shooting. Much better.
These are the watered down chickens.
These are the guys that want to stick you with a stick, basically.
Mm-hmm.
On top of the chicken. Precisely. I don't know why they call dragoons. Precisely.
I'll do you for your toaster, sir. Okay, and so now it's Jakari's deployment. Jakari is carefully considering the many options on the board.
So it's interesting because a lot of different armies, their synergies require almost a critical mass of points, right, to get different models on the board. I think actually both of these armies aren't those armies and really are linchpinned on a couple really, really powerful units. So I think that this will probably be close. I bet this will be extremely killy, especially with the deployment zones being relatively close and Drukhari having access to a very large flyer that won't be caring too much about the amount of difficult terrain that's actually on the map this time.
I've deployed one unit.
I haven't seen really any, and I've been out of the game for a little bit, guys. So I haven't actually seen Jakari too much in action. All I hear are just like the constant wailings of people talking about Jakari and how strong it is, and also the wailings of people on the Admec. So equal wailings on both sides of the Codex updates. That's the only thing I know of. So I don't actually know who's in favorite here on this 500-point game. I love how we're just gearing up for like the good esports when this is just a learning game, guys.
Can I deploy an Archon with a unit as part of the deployment phase? Like in a little formation like I've got over here on the edge?
You can deploy now. I finished deploying my rangers on this side.
How do you rotate a group?
Q and E.
There we go.
So you see how they're a little bit oblonged. If you press 2 on your keyboard while you have all of them highlighted, picked up, not 2 on your number pad, but on the top of your keyboard, it'll actually arrange them for you. You can do that with 1, 2, 3, 4, etc., and it'll put them into different formations while you're holding a group of units. Models, rather. Sorry.
Oh, there we go. That's neat.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm unsure if this is a unit. I think this would be a unit of dragoons. There's 2 of them. There you
go. Is there a place you can see what formations they do?
If you just let me just get something. I'll bring in my Corpus Cori. Just show you.
Okay.
So if I lift them up, I press 1, 2, 3, 4. It orientates them.
Okay.
So it's much easier and better to control this. It's you would not want to do that in game because some people can cheat. Yes.
Right. Yep. It's good for initial deployment. So yeah, that's why I teach it. The interesting thing about, playing 40K online means that you're not only learning rules for 40K, you're also learning how to operate Tabletop Simulator. And there's a lot of different hotkeys and things to learn, but once you do, it's actually pretty user friendly and pretty intuitive. I really, really like it. And then,
That's
of
always
course,
the hump
yeah,
to get over is learning
Oh, yeah.
buttons and everything.
Dragon, you might just place your raider because I already deployed my dragoons.
Oh. Sorry. Yep, the radar will be going on. Should I just deploy the radar model, or do I deploy
Yeah,
the?
only the raider because we know those units are within,
Okay.
so it is deployed as one single unit.
Yes, it starts where they're all technically inside of it. They're considered to be embarked, meaning that
Yes.
they wouldn't be on the table.
Outside.
Now you need to make sure that your hull is within the deployment zone as
Wholly
well.
within.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you could always kind of twist them around, kind of.
Yeah, you have to turn him around. Oh, not around, just turn him.
Shift them. It is a boat.
His backside's still over.
Over the edge. Move him in.
There you go.
Yeah,
There we go.
That's fine. Okay. I think you're done deploying, so I must just deploy the rest of mine. I only have 2 units left. My Manipulus and my Marshal. Manipulus is gonna go right there. The Marshal by his chums right there.
Okay. So that is how deployment works, by the way. So each of the players have their units that are within the game deployment edges here. Even having some units in Deep Strike Reserve or Reserve, it's really just Reserve, which will come out later, most likely in a future turn, but after definitely turn 1. So with that being said, I think now it's for the most important result to be decided in this game.
Yes.
This
is really important.
First? Who goes first? So
I really want to go first.
Everybody wants to go first.
Oh, no.
Actually, an Eternal War. Oh. Yeah, whoever wins takes choice. Yeah, in Eternal War, when you guys roll off to see who goes first, the winning player chooses. And then in Grand Tournament, whoever wins the roll-off has to go first.
It's in this case, because Dragon won, he has to choose if he wants to go first or second.
I'm going to choose to go first.
Okay.
So Jakari is going to be going first in this game. And with that being said, red player goes first. We can go ahead and hit start game. And so now here we go into the command phase. Now I just wanted to pick out, to point out something that was brought up in chat really quick. McPherson makes a very good point. The deployment phase is a very important and often overlooked games. If you're going to be playing competitively, it's often reflecting and troubleshooting back to how you deployed, which is really going to help determine what went wrong in your games. So deployment is very important, and if you're competitively playing, it's something that you're going to be considering very thoroughly the most. English.
I do have before we start, I do have a pre-game move of my Rangers.
Okay. Yes, this is very important as well. Pre-game moving with the Skatari Toaster boys. They get to do a range, I'm sorry, not a range, but where's it at? At the start of the first battle round, models in this unit can make a normal move up to 3 inches. They cannot end the move within 9 inches of an enemy model. So the ability is really actually just called Rangers. they can move up to 3 inches.
They thought they saw a toaster and they just really had to go for it.
Yeah, they sensed that there was a
Really?
toaster in the trees. I don't know. It's gonna be a weird game, guys. Like, the toaster jokes have already broken out. I don't even know how I'm gonna deal with this stream anymore. I kind of just want to just pass it over to Kaiju because the toaster memes have disgusted me. You guys haven't
Thank
seen
you.
what I've seen.
I have seen the depths of r/Grimdank, and it cannot be unseen.
Goodness.
Okay.
In this
So-
case, it's
Stream
your
takes a
movement.
deep.
Oh, command phase, sorry.
Oh yes. Okay. So for you guys who don't know, once again, it's your friendly stream mentor here telling you about command phase. Command phase is like an upkeep if you guys play Magic. This is where abilities go off, special abilities go off, and this is also where you get a command point. I neglected to talk about command points because they are very important. However, the best way to learn about your command points is just by playing the game. So let's get into that. Okay, so remember how these guys were playing command points in the pregame to get things strategically reserved and all that stuff? Well, they were spending command points. So at the beginning of every game, you have a certain amount of command points. The command points is determined by the game that you're playing and what detachments you're running. In this case, it's a combat patrol, so I believe it was, 5 command points that you guys got?
3.
3. Okay, so, yeah.
And to clarify, combat patrol is the size of the battle, which means that they're running 500-point lists.
Exactly. So a patrol detachment will get you, with a warlord in it, 3 command points. Actually, yeah, because you get refunded at 3 command points. More about list building in the videos that I told you about before, okay? So you guys should be looking at that. Anyway, going on to the command phase, you get a command point at the beginning of your command phase. So you can go ahead and give yourself, I think you already got assigned it, actually.
Yeah, you did already.
It's actually working this time. Wow, great. That's good news. And yeah, that's it. That's what the command phase is. I'll let you get to the next phase, Kaiju, because
Other stuff in the command
What's
phase
that
as
beautiful
well. It
voice?
depends.
So, a little bit of a problem. I'm actually not in the game.
Oh, yeah.
I've been using the stream. So, you should go ahead and message me the details on how to join. So yeah, just a little bit summarizing what he was saying about the command points. Command points are basically a resource pool that you can use to activate certain abilities. These abilities in the game are called stratagems. We won't get too much into them. These guys might, because it seems like they know a little bit more than they'd like to admit. However, stratagems are really powerful abilities. They range in powers and uses. The point being, all of these stratagems will pull from your resource pool known as your command points. And as you said, you get 1 command point at the beginning of each command phase. So after the command phase, if you guys are all done with that, go ahead and click the big red button on near the score sheet, and that'll move you to the next phase. The next phase is, of course, movement. If you couldn't tell, movement is where you move.
Taking that one. I am done with my command phase. Are you done with yours, Hanging?
the command
It's
phase
turn-based.
it's your command phase first.
Okay, so next phase.
Now it's your movement.
Movement. Okay, now let's see. Do I want to do anything with this? That would measuring a distance. Base movement of this. Wait, come on,
It's 14.
14. So yeah, that should be enough.
So yeah,
water
so
to
for those
do.
of you who aren't playing, movement is designated by what we were showing earlier when we went over all of the data sheets, as they're called, which is all the stats and whatnot. It would be the M on their movement. different models have different movement abilities or movement characteristics. For instance, this one that's being moved right now is called a Raider. This is a big fuck off skyship. So if you can tell, a skyship could fly. So it ignores different terrain features that might make it more difficult for certain units to move through because this simply flies over it. That also allows it to fly over friendly and enemy models, whereas normally units and models can't move through other models because they do abide by the laws of physics.
Generally
Yeah.
speaking.
I thought you brought up a very important thing that I guess we didn't quite miss it, but yeah, there are different terrain pieces that you use in your maps, and every map has terrain features, and these terrain features have keywords that apply special rules to them. So, for example, this is a woods, and it has dense cover, breachable, defensible, difficult ground. Off the top of my head, I know that it gives a -1 to hit if you're shooting through it. And I also know that difficult ground reduces the movement by, what was it, half or
2 inches.
2 inches? Okay.
Yep, 2 inches across the board. So McPherson brought up a really good point. So certain models, right, are measured differently. So most models are measured from their base, which would be the like black circle under a lot of these different models that you're seeing. Some of them, because whether they're too big or they're a special unit or whatever it may be, they instead measure from a hull. So the Raider, being the big ship that it is, it doesn't measure from the base, so it doesn't measure from the little black circle under it. It measures from basically any point on the model. So rotating it could get you extra range and put you within shooting range of things you wouldn't normally be. So it is very important to be aware of when you're rotating something and when your opponent is rotating something to make sure that either you aren't accidentally cheating or they aren't accidentally cheating.
Yep. Is there an
Yes.
easier way to check that, like doing hull measurements and stuff?
Yeah, so if you go up to the line tool in the top left and you click that, I can't do it because I don't have a color. If you do that, there should be an option that says center, and if you set that to edge, it'll actually measure. Oh, I guess it measures from the edge of the base. So I'm not sure. I think you would have to manually do
You
that.
can
Sometimes you
change
just gotta
this.
eyeball things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like usually I would just do it like this. Just press tab and from wherever I can see from top view.
Yeah, from a top-down view.
It's much easier than struggling with all those things.
Now, I would say that you don't want your model to be clipping through
Yeah.
objects like this.
I didn't think it was. I didn't look top down.
But the thing is that it is a flying model, isn't it? So
It is, yeah.
it could be like I guess what you just could do is just like move it up like so. This is just nitpicking, by the way. It's me nitpicking.
How do you move a model up? What's the key for that?
I locked it and I moved it up.
Oh, okay.
I mean, nobody really does this. I guess it doesn't matter. I'm just gonna
Leave it like that. Or you can
Yeah.
just
That'll be weird. If I start teaching people to move models in the air.
I think this would be much easier because then you're even closer. So
Yeah.
you're easier to see and chart maybe.
I much prefer that where you just
It's better to try to remain bound to what you could do in real life because
Yeah.
that's what the rules are built around.
Okay. So that's a legal move for the Raider. Legal move for the Carbolites and Sybarite over there. 4-inch move with a 7-inch move range. I figure that adjusts for angling.
So, an important thing to note, I don't know if you went over it. Are you familiar with obstructing terrain? So, obstruction is a very interesting thing then. Okay, this is probably, in my opinion, the most important rule in the game.
Yeah.
So obstructing terrain refers to any piece of terrain that is over, I believe it's 5 inches.
Yes.
If anybody in chat wants to double check that, give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. I'd appreciate it. And what obstructing means is that you can't see through it. So this is kind of weird. So Malice, can you right-click my name and give me a color really quick? Assign me one in game so that I can move models because it's going to be easier that way. Coolio, thank you. Okay, so I'm going to steal one of your models each to show how this works. So if we take one of each of these, the way obstructing works is they can't see each other as long as they're not within the building. So if we put this man right over here, and we put this man right here, right here, obviously he can't see him because there's a wall in the way. The weird thing about this is it also refers to spots that don't have walls. So if we keep this Cabalite right about here, and we move the Electro Priest all the way over here, they still can't see each other. Even though you can actually physically see the model from that point, it's considered to be obstructing terrain. So you wouldn't be able to see there. However, they would be able to see each other the moment somebody is considered to be within that piece of terrain. So if the Cabalite was like this, even though it's only halfway in the piece of terrain, now they can see each other and engage in ranged combat. It is an interesting rule. It's a little bit more complicated, but it's like integral to the way that the game works, so that shooting armies aren't super crazy. It's complicated. You guys will figure it out more as you play. But did I explain that well enough at all
Yeah.
for you guys to kind of get it?
I think
Yeah,
it
and
was
also,
good.
yeah, and also
Basically, there's-
for, yeah, it works
you
because
go ahead.
then, and in my case, these Vanguard, if they would want to shoot your Cabalites over there, only 4 of them can see you. The other 5 can't see you at all. So only 4 can see you, and thus only 4 can shoot. It's the same case.
Well, so for this, if we look at these pieces of terrain, actually,
They're ruins. So there's effectively a
these,
semi-invisible line across here that blocks all line of sight across that
yes,
center of the field.
because
Okay.
they touch tips basically on the very edge of their models under all the grass. So this
Yes.
entire big thing is technically obscuring, and you can't shoot from, for instance, here to here.
Oh, okay, now I see where they touch it. No, I didn't not even see they touching. Okay,
Okay.
makes sense.
That'll be
Right.
important for your movement steps. Sorry about that.
Yeah. No,
That's
no, no,
okay.
it's perfectly fine. I never even noticed that they are touching. That's actually interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well,
Yeah,
I learned
I
something.
hate this map because all the rules on this map are weird.
Okay. I'm still going to move to there with that smaller unit, and you have 8.
Appreciate the follow, Tesso.
No, it's fine.
Okay. Oh, hang on. No, I'm not getting a. I'm not getting a. Oh, there we go. Now I've got a thing.
I can adjust it for you if you want.
That's okay. I just wasn't getting a ruler, so I couldn't tell what I was kind of doing.
Now, Kaiju, if I wanted you to host the stream on your end, you think we should just take that moment real quick to reboot the stream? And then just kind of like re-blast a server that we're just starting?
That would probably be best. Would you be able to leave the server, Evan?
Yes,
Like the
yes.
in-game. It helps the Discord out,
so
it
now
helps
we
the stream
check,
out. I appreciate
objective.
it.
Do we check
We're really enjoying doing
quarters?
these streams.
Check table quarters, yes.
This one's a bit scuffed.
You
I
are within 2
apologize for
table
that.
quarters.
So no points on that front.
I do apologize for that. However, you know, we are working on it to be better. I think there's a suggestion box somewhere.
Pass turn.
If not, just post in general and at Malice. You can tell him I told you to do that.
It's for Marys.
But yeah,
Only control
like I
one
said, I
objective.
appreciate everybody coming out. There was
Just
decent
one.
amount of new followers, decent amount of new people coming in today. It's always good to see. Don't be afraid to ask questions. We're
It
here to
for
answer
now,
them.
Then
You know how it goes. I appreciate it, Shockwave. See, I have fun doing it.
Oh, you're not coming
So,
through clearly. Could
I'm
you
glad
move
I
your
have the
mic closer or
opportunity
speak up?
to.
another mic movements, unfortunately. This is going to be a lot.
What's the question?
No, it's just going to be a lot of more command phase stuff.
Yeah.
So in my case, I'm going to let my marshal declare on my dragoon. He's going to get the conqueror objective, which is a +1 to your weapon skill.
Is that within range?
He has the data check the keyword. I can
Oh,
select.
you're right. Yep, there is no range. Okay, continue.
And also, I'm going to select him to ignore the deprecation effect as well. From my marshal as well, so that's also fine. And also, my marshal is going to select the unit right in front of him. Remove all wound rolls of 1.
My wife and I just watched the new 40k and 40
Galvanic
minutes and
field
literally
onto the vanguard right in front of him.
rooted for the Inquisition because they had Death
my
Corps
command
on horses.
What's the
Because
galvanic
she
field
loves
do?
horses. You're the one who
Plus 16
married the
range
fucking
and
horse girl
gives the
from middle
weapons
school.
a -1
Every
AP.
middle school had a horse girl.
Ouch.
You're the one who got
Yeah.
the horse girl. Congrats.
So
Yeah,
now
Death Corps is
it's
awesome.
Movement. The Dragoon is gonna move. Oh, no, before anything. Corpuscar Electro Priest.
New kill team rules are very different. More as competition
Speaking of
with
there-
other rival games, Infinity Legion, etc. That are them improvements on kill teams. I would like that. I think kill team was trying to be like an introduction to 40k.
So,
It's not.
there.
40k and kill team are very like you don't carry a lot over. I really do think kill team would be better off being its own thing, and it would be a lot more fun. Yeah, big ups on the horse girls. They're always very sweet. Dated many country girls. Remember that you measure from the hull. So your little aura here is measuring from the base. So you're going to have to measure out from each of these to literally the tippy tip of the hull there.
I think the only one that affects is that one over there.
Maybe. You're not
Yes.
measuring from the edge of the hull. The edge of the hull is like right here. So these need to move back to right about
Oh my
here.
word. Yeah, I thought they would fit.
Yeah, it doesn't look like you're actually going to be able to fit all of them in there.
Not possible.
Yep. No
Just
problem.
keep in mind this guy as well.
Yep.
Down one more. That's at 10. Yep.
It's gonna fit in here.
Board control.
Board control.
Good control. Even if you didn't
Oh, she
need
knows
that.
Hey. That's fine. So.
Yeah. It was kind of nice because I was running a bunch of these on my personal channel to try and like figure out different things that would be good
Hey,
and bad.
then
I don't think these lists got
Dragoon
screened.
is gonna move.
Normally, I build and provide the lists. That way, I
Yes, his full bracket because
know
he
they're
only
very
has
well
one bracket.
balanced against one another.
So he's gonna move.
We can see some of the problems here with not doing that. We talked about it, and we want to remove like these. There's a way to hide a bunch of this so that there's less on screen. I could hide this and this, move this somewhere.
Fun.
And then there's a way for me to put the button for the phase on on the screen too, so that you should be able to see that. I might be able to do it for turns and scoreboard as well. Everything good?
Yes. Just breaking up a little bit, sorry.
Oh, no problem, no problem.
Vanguard moving up a little bit. Should have kept him there.
Void Dragon and Transcendent.
They're going to stay back.
Pricey shot.
It's going to stay. Vanguard's going to move like that. Then Rangers, they're going to stand here and fight off the Horde.
Alrighty.
Your team.
Yep, no psychic. We move right to bang bang.
Strina. Scopus Cover Electro Priests are gonna shoot into.
Yeah.
Let's get that in the sheet.
So like custodes are hard because they're really slow, and it'll be really hard to control a lot of the board, right? But you can try to like distinguish between like unit power, right? Because you have stuff like I don't know what's like a unit that's like
It's
known
gonna be
for
the
being
electrostatic.
really good.
It's a 12-inch range,
Hold on.
so they all should be within.
Like let's say you're playing not Dark Angels. Is it Dark Angels?
Each one of them is Assault 3, so it's
The one with the crazy
1, 2,
attack
3,
bikes
4,
that have
5.
Jink, you can stick multi-meltas
So
on
it's
them.
15.
All that bullshit.
So it's
Am I
15
dumb?
shots.
I think I'm being dumb. Is it Dark Angels?
15 shots going in. Insane. 3 ups.
It is Dark Angels. Yeah.
Hey, there's no dense cover grades. Is it? Does that
Single
dense
knight
cover
is 500
count?
points.
The dense cover.
So the dense cover, the way that it works is this guy is in dense cover, so it will get negative to shoot at him because he is considered to be rain. You ignore the debuffs. Make sense?
It's just yes. So then these guys are hitting on 4s.
Yep.
Okay.
Wow.
That's a 6.
Holy shit.
Oh, 6 has scored 2 additional hits.
How?
It's a abilities of the weapon.
Yeah. If you press 1 on the thing, why can't I open it? It's not opening for me. Okay, well I can't open it all of a sudden, so I don't know. Can you guys hear me? Are you fucking
I can hear you. You're breaking up a bit, but
You guys can search it up on Wikipedia if you want to make sure.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, so it's the same in Melee as well.
Yeah, okay. My internet just stabilized. Really hope the stream didn't drop. My internet had a big lag spike. Sorry about that.
Yeah, same happened here as well.
Okay, continue.
Yeah, so on 6s they score 2 additional hits. So it's 6 more hits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 more. Jeez,
Yep.
that's a lot actually.
Go for it.
These would be wounding. These would be wounding on. Your toughness is 6.
Make sure that hasn't.
Toughness 6.
Yep.
Toughness 6. Strength 5. So I'm thinking on 5s. Only 3.
Okay.
Minus 1 AP.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to use my Night Shield invuln save for a 5+. Is it 5+ or it's 4+? Double check.
So
5+.
you need. So you need 3 5-ups.
Yep.
So he dies.
Yep. And we now need to
Does he
roll.
explode?
See
That
it.
Does he
is
explode?
the.
Does he explode?
Mm-hmm. Roll a d6 to see if
6.
homie explodes.
It's no explode.
Okay.
I dropped a dice in. It didn't do anything. Drop another dice in.
No, I think
It's
it
a
did. I think
6.
No. I think it did. Are you looking at it
Can
directly?
you CP reroll that?
No.
Maybe
However,
you
I
can't
think.
CP
Or,
roll.
hey, I think it did reroll one. Look at the 5. There's one on top of the 5, buddy. There's
Oh.
2 there.
Oh, wow.
That
We did
did
not see
not.
that.
Yeah, don't look at it incredibly top down. Just yeah. But
Oh,
yeah,
it was just flat for me.
oh,
That's for
weird.
me as well.
Okay, well you did get a 5. Was the first roll,
Okay,
so
well,
it does
well,
not go
anyways,
boom.
then. Okay.
However, now I believe you roll a d6 for each model. So leave it there. Press
So
escape
all
and it'll
these
snap back.
models-
Press escape and it'll snap. There you
Okay.
go. So you roll a d6 for each model, and then
For-
what is it on a 1, right? Because it's forced disembarking, or is that only on explosion?
No,
He already
It's-
disembarked.
I already disembarked.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind. Go ahead. Remove it. Do you think?
I saw this coming. Shockingly.
I just want to see if my Dracoon does any shooting. No, he does not. Okay. So then.
Honestly,
Strength
they
or
really
range?
should just sell 500 point, like 550 point
Oh,
sets.
range.
That way you can mess with the
So
weapons a
then
little
good.
bit.
I'm gonna
It's
shoot.
very easy. You can pick it up and you can play. That's what they
I'm
should
gonna
do.
spend a CP on enriched rounds. So on 4-ups, they automatically wound.
Have it? Oh, you just got a CP back.
Dang,
Yeah,
how
but it's
bad
been
is
good.
the stream right now?
Okay.
364
So it's
kilobytes.
1, 2, 3, 4,
65.
5. It's 15. It's 15. 3-ups. 4-ups automatically wound. Wow, that's a lot of ones. So 4-ups automatically wound. What's your toughness?
Toughness
your-
on the incubi is 3.
My strength is 3 as well. Strength 3 as well, so on 4s. So these 3 on 4s. Okay. So only 1. So all of those minus 1 AP.
Let's see, do they have any? They have armor 4, so it's a 5-up armor save, correct?
3-up
Mhm.
armor save. The incubi.
Correct.
So it goes to a 4-up.
Yep.
Oh, the Clavex has 1 more armor.
So you
how
can
do we handle
choose.
that?
So what happens now?
Then you have
is
to.
Oh, can you hear me?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I
So
can hear you now.
So what happens is you're the one taking the damage, right? So you get to choose. This also means that you get to choose who's making the saves. However, you're going to have to roll one at a time, because if you roll using his save and you fail, he's going to be the one who needs to take the damage first. And then if he dies, then you have to start using these guys.
Okay, so I will roll them at.
He also
so-
has a 3-up as well. All have 3-up armor saves.
No, Clavex is 4.
Oh. I'm floating above my
Oh no,
C3.
sorry, I'm not. I'm looking at the wrong stat. That's
Yep.
my.
They're all still 3-ups. That
Yeah.
is how you would use it. However, they're 3-ups, and I think it's AP -1. You said so. It's a 4-up.
Yep.
So it's all of them 4-ups.
Alright, go crazy.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 wounds are dealt to you. You can allocate them as you want.
Okay, so let's see. They are, I believe. Clip,
One
I'm going to
except for the-
allocate 2 to the Clavex.
There's 3 left.
Yep. So Clavex is down, and then 1, 2.
Are you sure it's 3?
Yeah.
Because I thought it was only 4 damage.
It's
I
only
only
4,
see 4
sorry.
dice. Yeah. So
So,
you need
So
to
1,
roll
2. Yeah, just remove that one.
so
Yeah, just get
Okay,
rid of
so
2 more dudes. That's
1,
all you have to do.
2 more dudes.
3,
Okay, so I'll do.
4.
Okay, I'll do that then.
Yes, sir.
It's fine.
Okay. Right. Laser that.
Shooting
so,
is done. 2.
Yep. 2 more things to shoot. Marshal and Manipulus.
Marshall. Skatari Rangers. So first is going to be Manipulus, Magnum Lance, 2-ups.
Who's the Manipulus target?
Try not to drag out your S's. Sorry.
Sorry.
No problem, no problem.
He's
It comes through.
targeting the Incubi as well.
Okay. What's his range?
It should be him.
36. Yeah, plenty.
No, you definitely him. It does hit, it's a 3.
Okay.
Toughness 3, correct?
Yep.
Strength 7, so wound number 2. 6. He's definitely dead.
Yep.
This minus 3 AP, 3 damage.
Yep.
Wait, minus 3, so it goes to a 6. So if you can throw a 6, he's fine.
Oh. Okay, I will see if I can manage that. Nope, he's dead. I've already taken him off.
Rangers, all of them. It's no penalty for moving. All of them are going to shoot into your Archon.
Okay. Well, he's got cover, so.
Is he within 3 inches? It's not more than 3 models. So he does not get the lookout rule.
Yep. But he does.
Yeah.
I think he gets to get cover from the tree, or is that tree not cover?
It's dense cover. Oh,
Yeah. It
I'll
would be
say that's
dense
fine.
cover.
so it's minus 1.
-1 to hit.
Yeah. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it's 20 shots going in. Hitting on 4s. Reroll. No, not reroll. So hitting on 4s. Toughness is 3. Strength is 4, I believe. Strength is 4, so that would mean on 3s. Rolling wound rolls of 1 because of the martial. On 3s. So 4 minus 1 AP. So he doesn't get the 2-up save, 2-up invul anymore. So it's a 4, so it goes to a 5. Yeah, 5.
Yep.
Okay. We get rid of 1 hit, so 3 damage. Do they all have at least 1 damage, right?
He's dead. He has on 3 left.
Yep.
Yep.
Archon is dead. He didn't even get to attack.
Can make it to it.
Hmm.
It's gonna be the Marshal. To Incuba.
I think even if the most expensive loadout
So it
possible
will be the
not
Radium
reach 500
Serpent
points, which is a bit sad. Yeah, the
It's only
problem
one
it
of them.
makes it very hard to get in when new players come in and they look and they see
Two.
that like
Leave.
a box that they can buy to build doesn't even get them enough to play the smallest game, and that box already is $100, $100 plus. Like, it's absurd.
2 up.
You
Okay. 3.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I guess on 4s. No.
nope.
So then the Appropriations Purity. Salt 3. Hitting on 2s. Hit for 4 up automatically wounds. So these 2 automatically wound.
He's dead. Oh, on
No,
an
no,
auto
no, it's
wound.
-2 AP. It's -2 AP. You still have a chance to save him.
Okay.
Just
I
wait.
will-
This one. All of them. 5 ups.
Right, so 5 up saves. Let's see. Nope,
He's dead.
he did.
Unfortunate.
It's really unfortunate.
Rather.
I really wanted you off that objective. Otherwise, we're gonna keep getting points and points. Because you're
I
leading against me in
appreciate
points
the
right now.
follow, Jusby.
Mm-hmm.
Is the whole unit considered to have cover when
I'm
some are
gonna-
under the tree? So how it works is some
Done
of
for
them
shooting.
would have cover.
Charge. Now,
Right. Oh,
this
you're
does
talking
not
about
make
with
sense.
dense cover?
Nor will it ever make sense.
Fearsome.
I just want to
You're
see
there.
carnage.
Double check that,
This
because
chicken.
I'm
Right.
pretty sure. Yes.
This guy is gonna go into them.
Okey-dokey.
Or no, because if you have people sitting out in front, I don't think it does. I think you have to shoot
So what
through
do
it
I
in
do?
some aspect. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure.
Need 6, 7, 8.
Fearsome! Protect me, please.
Okay, so I need 8.
I know that you're there.
5, 6, 7, 8. Jeez, that's close. Okay, so he's in. Now, white face. All I'm gonna charge with. And oh man, I can't spend a CP for that crushing weight. Okay. Full pin now. So it's 4 attacks.
Mm-hmm. Hitting on 3s.
Hitting on 3. No, hitting on 2s because I gave him the +1 to his weapon skill. So hitting on 2s.
Mm.
6s generate 2 additional
on-
hits.
Probably wounding on 2s. Why don't these Kabalites have...
These are
Yeah, wounding on 2s.
these are wounding on 2s, no matter how you look at it.
Mm-hmm.
Toughness is 3, correct?
Subtract 1 for the...
Toughness is
Unless
3,
you can
yes.
draw straight lines 1 millimeter in thickness to every part of at least one model base. There you go. Boom. Appreciate it, Fearsome. Is in the same. Yeah.
What?
Sup? Hello?
Okay, so these are two wound. So 2 wound. Choose. Not re-rolling once. Okay, so it's 3 minus 2 AP. So that would make it 3 6-ups.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Nope, that's 3.
3 of your monitors die. You can choose which of you die.
Let's see, which way do we want this to happen? Yeah, we're gonna do this off the table. Off the table. Off the table.
Didn't you want to hit back?
I thought
So
we resolved damage first.
So yeah, damage happens, and then he's able to pile in as long as he remains in engagement range. So as long as one dude is within engagement range. Yeah. So
And
so for people who don't know, engagement range is within 1 inch. And yeah. So continue.
I can pile in.
Hmm?
Yep.
Well, yours is a consolidate, but yeah. Because it goes, you pile in, you attack, and then you consolidate.
You have to hit back. So you have to pile in.
Right.
You
so
can pile in 3 inch.
What's
So
up,
you
man?
can do
Chops?
all your guys if you really need to.
So move all units up to 3 inches as long as
We
they remain
have
within 1 inch of the dragon.
Drukhari and I'm sorry. What did you ask me?
Piling in, I can move all models within that unit up to 3 inches as long as they remain within engagement range of the chicken.
Yes, as long as they end up closer than when they started as well. So you can't pile in and bring a Cabalite out this way, right? So,
Okay.
Yep.
So
And then
move...
keep in mind because they can't move through models, so that is important.
Okay.
So engagement range is 1 inch, and then everything that can fight is within 1 inch of him or a half inch of somebody who's within 1 inch of him. So for instance, right now, like this guy and this guy can both still fight because they're within half an inch of a guy who's within an inch. So,
Okay. In that case, I am going to...
thank you, Hatox.
move
I was wrong about the Admec combat box. If you're playing points, then you could squeeze out 500 points from it.
inches to
Really?
there.
Is it 500 or is it like 498?
There. Move 0.1 of an inch just for ease. I'm trying to get as many people as possible. Here.
Alright, we're gonna mix this up. We're gonna go here.
Move these guys over your side as well.
I
You
could,
really
but that,
need to.
yes, I could, but that side
okay.
is closer to your evil shirtless priesty boys. And I'm sorry, but I object to shirtless priests. So my current entire plan is
Is this
get
music
the
giving you
fuck away from the
anxiety?
shirtless priests.
Do you feel uncomfortable?
Say all of them are engagement range.
This is actually
Yep.
pretty
So that means
high stress.
I don't believe they have any kind of melee weapon. As far as I know,
Oh,
no,
they have
Nope.
funnily really good melee, actually.
Ugh.
It's
Yeah.
just 3-up weapons.
Yep.
So-
It's really
It's a
weird.
weapon.
So yeah, you would just attack with your basic profile. So your base strength, your basic weapon skill, 0 AP, 1 damage.
Okay.
Yep.
So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 attacks.
So it's 2 attacks for each Kabalite warrior, and the Cerberite has 3 attacks.
Okay, so...
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it looks like you remove the main dude. So there's 7 guys left, 2 attacks, each is 14.
So 14 attacks altogether.
Correct.
Okay, so let's do 10. 14. Reroll ones. 2 or 1. Oh
Yes,
well.
well.
It's
a
3
3-act
up.
weapon skill.
So click. So that's 9 attacks remaining. They
Strength
are
is...
I don't remember what's in the
Your
page.
strength is... My toughness is 6.
6. So I am
Say-
working on
6s. Because I'm double the toughness. Yes.
Yep. So wounding on 2s. Or sorry, 6s. Complete opposite.
So 3.
Yep.
0
Yeah.
AP. So it's 3 trios. So when I die. I die. So, do I explode?
No.
You want to explode?
Yes. I know, that's why I'm very glad that you didn't.
That'd be kind of rough.
Unfortunate.
If I had more CP, I would have exploded automatically. It's so much fun. Now you have 3 inches of consolidation to the nearest units. You have to move to the nearest units. If am I correct with that, Kaiju?
You there, Kaiju?
Dusty Boys, are you in the Discord? Yeah, what's up? Yeah, what's up?
Consolidation. Move
So,
up.
consolidate. After combat, you get to move 3 inches towards the nearest enemy, up to 3 inches. So, the nearest one would be these guys. However, -2 to movement because of difficult terrain, you can only consolidate an inch.
I'll take an inch.
I think that will put you in range, so...
That's what I'm hoping. Don't think it will
Well,
quite...
definitely with this guy.
This guy
Definitely
will,
with this
yeah.
guy.
Yep, you'll be able to get online.
Alright, doing this individually because shit's weird.
No problem. I'm in the TTS Discord server, but I'm yet to see someone who wants to play. Are you crazy? Dust Boys, what's your Discord name? I'll show you.
Okay, that's my consolidation finished.
Models from yours died?
That
Oh.
was three units from that died.
3 models.
In
okay.
a few months? Well, you have to
leadership of
actually
7.
look at it to find people to play with.
So 7 minus 3 would be how much? 4.
That is... oh, yep, so... Need to roll...
You need a 5. If you roll a 5 or a 6, you fail.
Okay,
I did.
You are fine.
we're good.
Okay.
Yeah, let me know.
All morale.
Let me know your in-game name, because I don't
Passing it
know the
on
last
to you.
time you checked, but it takes like an
Okey-dokey.
hour, and then you can
Let's...
like within an hour.
I'm not gonna do anything
In like
for
2 a.m. You can get one in like 15 minutes.
Oh,
usually.
do you want to check quarters?
Yep, at the end of turn, check your quarter.
Actually, there's also attrition at the end of the battle round. That was just the round.
Yep.
I get, because I destroyed 2 units, you destroyed 1.
Somebody posted 5 minutes ago that they want to play 2K.
Yep. Okay.
Before that, somebody found a game about 7 minutes before that.
Have enough coverage to
Somebody was looking for a game before that, 10 minutes before then. Like,
nope, not quite.
Try in the game chat sometimes.
My...
Yeah, like I said, tell me your in-game or your Discord name,
okay.
and I'll help you out.
Command phase, not going to do anything. Movements. Wow.
So much movement.
Yeah. A bit of a fucker of a thing. Can you hold a command point if you're inside ruins next to it?
Yes.
And it's is it show area denial to show those radii?
You are not.
I don't think so. No.
No.
You just so if you hover over an objective marker and you press 2 on your keyboard, it'll mess with it. And then if you press 1, it'll put it back.
Okay. Doesn't go through the ruins, which is rather awkward. So I'm just trying to. Oh, it does, but it doesn't go very high.
Well, it goes up
doesn't
as
go far
it's an infinite cylinder.
Yeah.
Doesn't go far enough. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. It's -1 to movement within the ruins, correct?
No. No minus within a ruins.
Okay, so he's...
It does cost... It costs movement to go up and down flights, so remember that.
Okay, how do I move with enough flight? Because I'm trying to move over and it's automatically moving him up.
Yeah, so you need to mess with your angle, right? So if you hold right click, you can move your screen around and you can just, get under there and drag it.
So press the right click button.
Yeah, and if you're still having a problem, hold right click and it'll snap him down. Those are your best bets.
Come on. Stay. Hi. Ah! Keep doing you. Wait. No. I got. Ah! It's going absolutely. He now appears to be somewhere beyond the bound. Oh no, he's above the plane of the camera. I cannot
Where are
get
you
him
trying to get him? Because I got you. So like if you just move like this.
I want to get him like right in that corner.
Isn't unit coherency a thing?
Yeah, unit coherency is a thing. It only measures left and right. It doesn't measure up and down. So he needs to be within 2 inches. I believe he needs 2 models within 2 inches because how many people are in this? More than 5. So yeah, 2 people within 2 inches of each other, basically any given time. So everything else will have to move over. But yeah.
Yep, that is the plan. I just didn't want to mass move because I know weirdness goes on with. Is it better to be at a high angle or a low angle for going within a plane?
Probably a lower one. It depends. The best way that you can look into that area, right? And then you can scroll wheel to zoom in and out too. Well, if you put him down and then scroll wheel, but. Yep.
Nope, still will not let me.
Are you trying to go up or down?
I'm trying to move underneath him.
Yeah. See.
How?
Because you hold right click.
Yep.
And then you can move your screen around.
Yeah, I know. I had it like as close in as I could get it. and it was still jumping up and down for me, which is...
Are you looking under the floor?
No?
Well, yeah, that's the thing. You should be looking under. Can you pop the stream and like take a look at my angle? If you go look at our
Give me one
Twitch
second,
stream?
I'm just going to reload because I think it's lagged out a bit behind.
maybe.
And of course Twitch gives me a fucking advert.
And unit coherency is 5 inches vertical. That's the other thing. Yep. I don't have the ability to run ads so that we don't have to worry about the login ads, but
That's fine. I am in. Okay, so if you look... Okay, let me try doing it from this angle, because you're... Nope. See, the minute I pick him up, he goes up there.
Okay. Now hold
Have
right
re-
click. Move to the right and hold right click.
Okay, now that time it worked. It wasn't working before.
Click as well now.
Pardon?
Hold right click now as well. So it's much easier. Left
Okay.
and right.
Yep.
Easier to move them.
Let me shift my angle around so that I
Go ahead and move all your boys. He probably has a different object weight set. Maybe.
together.
Potentially, yeah.
these trying times.
Well, it seems like he's figured it out.
And it does cost.
Appreciate it. Yeah, no problem.
Okay. Right, that's them moved. Don't think I want to move them any further.
Mm-hmm.
And I've only got these boys who...
Yep. You have a movement of 7 inches. So that goes down to 5.
Yep. Just trying to see if I can find a more tactically advantageous position for them. Don't think I can.
Seems like as good as you're gonna get.
Yep. I'm just gonna shuffle them around a little bit so that I have more than one within the radius. Okay, we're all wholly within difficult terrain, that's fine, and I don't have any other units existing. They're all dead, Dave. Psychic
Sorry
phase.
about that. I know I'm going to lose because of points, but at least I'm going out with style.
Well, you're in the lead on points at the moment.
No, you're going to gain it in your next command phase. I may actually win this.
If you table me now, you win.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to have all of these battered boys shoot at these Corpuscari. So we'll deal with
Vince?
the... Pardon?
Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Deal with the Dark Lance first.
Yeah, the flashbacks to
I believe that hits.
friggin'
Uh,
the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon.
Nope. And unfortunately, I don't get to reroll 2s. So he's done, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys remaining. So we will add that.
Oh.
Hitting on 3-ups, unless you have anything that interferes with that.
No.
Don't think so. Nice. Alright,
Okay,
so move to wounds.
oh, I forgot to reroll the 1.
Looks like you wound. Oh, okay. Go ahead and roll wounds. You wound on 4-ups.
Yes.
Two of those. Hey, said roll you. So
So it looks like 2
2
wounds on a 5-up invulnerable save. so far that's 1 damage. However, you have Fanatical Devotion, which is a feel no pain on a 5-up. So whenever you take damage, roll a d6, and on a 5-up you don't take damage. Go ahead and roll that. See on a 5-up. Wow.
You're not.
Okay. So nothing goes through. And then you have your Cabalite with the heavy weapon as well.
He rolled and failed.
Damn. Okay. Did you remember? Never mind. Continue.
Yeah, he rolled 2.
Fire.
Coolio.
Just
cool.
realized as well.
Alright.
Okay, so you have a blaster, and so we'll deal with the blaster first, and then we'll do the rest of them. So,
Into which unit would this be now?
I am going to pile that into the Vanguard. So, that's a potential hit. Unless, do they have anything that affects Ballistic Scale?
I don't believe so. No. Doesn't look like it. Go ahead and start banging.
Okay, so this boy is a strength 8 versus toughness 3, so it's
3,
more than
yes.
double.
Yep. Wounding on 2s.
Yep. Wait.
No
I get
wound.
to reroll the 1.
Okay. That does wound.
Wound.
0.
Alright.
that
So no armor save.
6 up in ball.
Okay. Sure. Go ahead. Nope.
No, okay.
D6 damage.
One die dies automatically.
Okay. Yep.
2 damage.
And kill the dude. So extra damage doesn't roll over. It all goes on
Yes.
one model unless it's mortal wounds. Continue.
Okay.
Yes.
Right, so then I have 1, 2, 3, 4 guys. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dudes with splinter rifles.
Is it within rapid fire range?
Thank you for the reminder. It
Yeah.
is a. Are they within rapid fire?
Yes. Range? I
Didn't
would
have
believe they
range.
are.
Looks like it. Yep. Rapid fire.
So add in another.
Yep.
self-
Just double it.
So yeah, just add 1 more, so 5. Select all. 3 ups. So
3 up, 0.
Alright. Wounding on force.
Yep, so
Force for you.
4.
Alright. Highlight them all. Drop them in.
Okay. Come on. Select all. Drop them in. Get to reroll 1s. Actually, no, I don't. Because my Archon is. That doesn't apply when the Archon's off the field, does it?
Nope. I don't think so.
So, my mistake there. So,
Okay. So, 4 wounds then on your saves of 4 ups. So 4 4-up saves.
4 ups.
Mm-hmm.
3
Great.
die.
So 2 more dead.
it's something.
Mm-hmm. Getting
If,
models off the board.
if there was morale, I would have died instantly. So many
Yeah.
times. He's very good.
All right.
And,
So those guys are done shooting. Is that everything?
That is all the units I have remaining.
All right. Charge phase. Are you charging?
I am not going to charge anybody, no.
All right. No melee combat.
Yep.
Go to morale. He ignores morale.
Yep.
And at the end of turn, we score for things.
It's not the end.
Engage. It's the engage, and I literally can't score that. I don't have enough units left.
Okay. And that goes back to you. Beginning of your command phase, score your primaries. You control
Yes.
1, which is
Yeah, I control only
not
1.
more than your opponent, so you get 1 check mark. And then go ahead and move to movement phase.
Unless we have.
When everything is gonna be where?
Oh yeah, you gotta declare your stuff. Declare your stuff and then go ahead and move to move.
Case.
Yeah, the problem is
I'm gonna.
I can't put on
It's gonna give all those
copyrighted music.
buffs from before
They're just quite
before
upsetting.
onto the ranges, except for the plus ballistic skill. You can't give that, so it's only reroll once in the wood rolls. Manipulus is gonna give the galvanic field to the vanguard. I'm gonna select the canticle. It only affects Cold Mechanicus models, which does include my Mechanicus and Manipulus and the Corpse Beast.
Yep.
That would be gonna do the invocation of Machine Vengeance. So if I charge, I roll 2 dice and I discard the lowest one.
Yep.
So yeah.
Cool. Alright.
So that's gonna be only for the Corpuscari.
Sure. Alright. Anything else?
That's all for my stuff.
Alright. Move on
So
to the
I'm
movement.
gonna So I'm gonna advance with God this way.
It's still saying in command phase for me.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay. Sorry, just wasn't sure if it was
Advance. This is 9. They're gonna
Well,
move line.
remember you
It's one
discard the
dice.
lowest one. Yep. So it's a 12-inch movement.
It's actually not because they are the Cold Mechanicus.
Okay.
Cold Mechanicus gain the canticle. It's good. Just reroll that. 12-inch.
Okay. So
Sit right there.
hello.
Manipulus. Yes.
Okay. Just making sure you're still going.
Yeah, I'm still going.
No problem.
Electro Priest is going to move 6. All I'm going to do for movement. No psychic. Shooting. First is going to be the Vanguard. It's the range now.
Uh-huh.
12, no, they are fine.
Ugh.
It's -1 to hit because they have advanced. So instead of 3 ups,
And
it's
-1.
4 ups.
Isn't it also -1 because of dense cover?
Yep.
Yes. So it's
5
5
ups.
ups.
Yes, sir.
So it's 6 5 ups.
Yes, sir. Oh,
Only 1.
yeah.
1 and 6 is automatically wound as well.
Okay.
Because
So
it's
an auto
radium
wound.
carbines.
Yep.
So it's 1 0 AP 1.
Yep. So go ahead and roll your save. You have 4 up.
Save.
Looks like you're fine.
Good, fine.
Cool. On to the next shoot.
Next is going to be all the rangers going into your Cabalite warriors inside.
Sure.
Because I
Okay.
can see them.
Mhm.
And they do have windows, so I can see all
Looks
of it.
like you've got 10 times 2, that's 20.
Yes. We on 3s. Not rerolling 1s. going through. These are not
Do I count as
so
having
real.
cover?
For these guys.
So you're only going to go +1 to your save.
Yeah, this is
okay.
light cover, so yeah, you get +1 to your save.
Okay, that's fine. I
Okay.
just wasn't sure.
All ones because of for wound rolls.
Yep.
This is
Okay.
ones.
Wounding on 3s. Strength
Wounding
3,
on 3.
yeah, strength 4, toughness 3. So, okay, that many saves.
11 saves, -1 AP.
+1 AP because of the thing, so on 4-ups.
4-ups, okay.
Yes, sir.
Against all the evil that hell can conjure.
So that looks like right
2,
now
3, 4,
5 are dying.
How many are there?
There
2,
are
3, 4.
Looks like there are 5, 6 guys.
He was a guy.
actually.
There was a guy.
Yeah,
He should have.
there's still a guy here.
Oh,
Just move over,
missed
Avo.
him.
So right now there's 6. So right now you remove all but 1.
Well, I'm going to leave my one boy who's holding the objective.
Alright.
Hold the line! Hold the line!
Alright.
Survives morale, that will be legendary.
Anything else to shoot?
It's a lot more to shoot. So then,
The Marshal is gonna shoot.
yeah, the Marshal's gonna shoot in as well.
Alright, 3 shots.
Yeah.
Oh! Ah!
So now been 12 inches. Or 18 inches. That's good too.
Well, there's 2 weapons. You have the Serpenta and the Purgation Purity. And you get to shoot all your weapons, so why don't you go ahead and make a blue die? Are they within range? Yeah. So make a blue die, and then make 3 red dice. There you go. Go ahead and highlight them all. Roll them. You are
Choose.
hitting on 2s.
Not for rolling 1.
Alright. And go ahead and roll those.
So it's
The blue
three,
is
so
wounding
a
on 4s.
4.
Yeah, the blue is a
Yes.
4, the reds are on 3s. Great. 2 wounds.
2
Your
wounds.
Jakari buddy's getting at it.
Huh?
Appreciate it, Bruise Games Rides. Thank
-2.
you, Black Rider.
So +1 to your save because of that. So it's one
How
of them
are you,
on 5 up.
How are you doing,
And the other one
Sir
on the 3
Darwining?
up.
How you vibing on this
Okay,
here Friday?
So this is the 5-up.
Yep,
Do you make it?
Makes
The
it.
other one is a 3 up.
he does make it. +1 because of his,
Yeah. He had
So-
4, so then it's still 3 up.
Hmm?
So
Okay.
you.
Yep, so he
Makes sense.
passes that as well. He
So now
survives
the
all of the gunfire.
So now the magma real
Score at the
What's it?
moment
the gun from the binoculars. 2 up.
is 22 to 21.
2, it wounds. I think it
Ooh.
definitely wounds.
I believe it is in. Yeah. Admec has 22. The other one has.
So -3 AP.
Or sorry,
so
Admec
6.
has 24.
Whatever goes
The
to
other
a
player
5.
has 22. Drukhari's at 22
So
to
5-up
24.
save.
No. It goes to a 6. It's to a 6 because they will not be able. This is 4.
Well,
Okay.
3 goes to 7. 6.
But you know, life
Okay.
things. Yep. No problem, no problem.
Damn it!
Almost.
He would have been legendary if he'd survived.
It would, yeah, be legendary. Scott
I'm doing
Electro
okay.
Priest. It's gonna be 1, 2,
It was
3,
a
4,
long
5.
week, so
So 15 shots.
it's nice to do a little bit of streaming, a little bit of this, playing some 40k, teaching some people what they're doing. Yeah, sorry about that.
15
Sorry
shots
you
going
had to
in.
cancel them.
That would be on 4s. 6s scored 2
yeah,
additional
Like I
hits.
said, long week. I got to see
1,
a lot
2,
of
3,
family.
4, 5, 6.
Now I'm here. What about you? Anything interesting happened throughout the week? Bang bang! Alright, go ahead,
What's
roll.
your toughness?
Toughness.
Go ahead and roll them, and then we'll figure out. It's toughness 3.
Oh, yeah.
Eldar are typically 3.
It's on 3s, yeah.
Mhm.
It is on 3s. So all of these, minus 1 AP.
Your strength. Yeah, your strength is 5 on those. Okay, wow. Yep.
So 4 plus
So-
save base, plus 1 for the woods, minus 1 for the AP.
woods
so-
does not give a +1 to your save.
Oh,
It has dense cover, not light cover.
Okay, that's
problem.
something I need to learn. So just a 3 plus save?
So 5 up.
Sorry, 5 plus. I'm
Mhm.
going the wrong direction. 5 up.
Fine.
Okay, so
1, 2, 3, 4 die.
4 dudes
uh,
bite the dust. Yeah.
yes, there's 4 of them.
It is a uphill battle when you're getting into the game. It is difficult. 40K is not an easy game, and it has a lot of rules. And the more you play, the better you get.
4.
Gonna
They're
be a
holding out.
charge. It's gonna be 3 dice.
Are
One
you
additional
able?
D6.
Are you able to advance and charge?
I did not advance that unit. I advanced the
Yeah, these guys.
the Vanguard.
I thought you advanced these guys.
No, I advanced the Vanguard.
Okay. Yeah, that actually you
These
are
guys
correct.
was.
Yep, you are right. Yeah, 6 inches. Okay, continue. So, do
These
you
guys
add all 3 or do you discard the lowest?
got
Okay, go ahead, roll. 7 inches.
7 minus 2, so it's only 5.
It's not enough to get there.
It's a 1-inch engagement range.
Yeah, you have to be within 1 inch. So you have to be at 0.9.
I can pop out a circle if that helps.
Hmm.
And it would help if it wasn't lost in terrain. Oh, if you zoom in, it pops up.
So there you go. It looks like you do actually need a 5-inch charge. So it does look like you are getting in there with a 7, just barely, because that'll put you
Jeez,
at
just barely.
0.3 away. So yep, go ahead and start moving your dudes. For
There's
LVO
a
and AOS.
Fall in as well.
Okay, explain to me, what the hell are you saying?
Why?
Age of Sigmar? LVO.
Is it 30? Fall
I don't know what LVO is. My neck and back.
So it's not charged.
Had time to play 40K
For
during
Corpus Car
lockdown.
Electric Beast.
Can't play, can play now. Don't have time to.
Oh wow, I forgot about this. Motive Foresight. Each time a model in this unit makes an
Lost
attack of range
Vegan
attacks,
Okay.
ignore any hit roll modifiers for ballistic skills.
Now, are you
well.
a tournament
I
player,
forgot about that. But oh well. It's
Darwin?
fine.
I used to play a lot of
Finish-
Magic
If I
competitively.
finish a charge move, roll d6 for each model in that unit. On a 6, it suffers 1 more.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
So how many models are there? 3. So
3 left.
6 is a dead guy.
Nope.
None.
Okay.
No dead.
Any other charges? Doesn't look like it.
It's the only last bit of a unit.
So, fight phase. Chargers attack first. Looks like 2 attacks each, 10 attacks with strength 5 hitting on 4s.
So 4s.
4s. And wounding on 3s. Wounding on 3s?
Rules of 6s score 2 additional attack. It's
Okay. Spawn 2 more dice.
so these are on what again?
3s.
3s. Okay.
Yep. Bink and bonk. Alright. And these are AP -1. So it
Yes.
looks like you are going on a 5-up save? Yep.
5 up saves. Find out.
3.
3 hits.
So it's just enough. You could command point 1 and go for it to try and keep him alive.
So you wouldn't be able to. How much do you get for holding an objective?
5
5.
points. You do have and you also have objective secured as well.
Mhm.
And I am going to. I'm gonna command point reroll one of those. So we'll just.
Yep, reroll one of them.
I'll reroll this one because it's easy. Wait. Nope.
Unfortunate. Alright, there they go.
Game.
Is that a table?
That is a table, unfortunately.
Unfortunate. Well, I think with that, he'll definitely be able to walk around for the next couple turns and very, very much win. I think so. Normally, I build the lists and then I do all of that, but because we had a last second drop and then a little bit of confusion, I didn't do that this time. I do apologize. That is on me. I do appreciate both of you coming here and playing, though, and being the guinea pigs, if you will, to teach other players and give people the opportunity to learn and ask questions. Thank you for being here and playing. Like I said, do you have any comments, questions, concerns, ideas?
This was nice and fun. I don't feel disheartened. I do have a few games on the moment, so please don't feel disheartened. I know first time I played was against World Eaters with a brand. It wasn't even new Admec. I did not know anything. I was wiped off the table in my first turn. Don't feel bad.
I think I put up a creditable fight.
Yeah, you
Yes, you
actually
did.
played it pretty well, and what you did was really smart, because after you started getting shot off, you tried to play the objective, which is exactly what you're supposed to do. Once you get behind, you stop going for the kills, you try to play really defensive and take those objectives and get those points, because it is a point game, not a kill game. And I really do, I think that you played well. I think it was a little unfortunate. I think there was a little bit of a balancing issue with the lists, which is common at 500 points. It's very easy for stuff like that to happen. Anything else?
That's about all. I did have a good time.
Well, I'm
Thank
glad.
you very much for playing, my man. I'm sorry. Sorry if I was a little bit too into this.
Now you know your faction and you play your faction the way they're meant to be played, and that's how the game goes.
Mm-hmm. But,
You can see I'm used to Lucius because literally this whole unit situation here, just prepping it to like solar flare onto somewhere else on the battlefield.
mm-hmm.
I was just prepping it because, but then I remembered I'm Greya. Why the hell am I
Right.
sitting this here?
Right. But yeah. Okay. Well, like I said, I appreciate you guys playing. I'm gonna go ahead and deaf mute and finish up the stream. I don't know. Goodbye. Thank you for playing again.
Have a good evening.
Thank you very much.
Have a good
Thank you
one.
very much.
Good night.
Cheers.
All right. So I'm going to go ahead and switch screens. I appreciate everybody who tuned in. I know that we lost a bunch of the viewership throughout. We had one goddamn section where the stream messed up on my end. My internet was like, we fixed it. We didn't fix it, apparently. But yeah, overall, I appreciate everybody coming in. I appreciate you guys being a part of this. You guys are really supporting the community. We want to do more of these streams. We want to do more of this type of stuff. It means the world to us. Appreciate all the support. Thank you for all the, new followers, so on and so forth. If you like me, I have my own stuff that I do on my channel. Feel free to check that out if you're interested. Otherwise, I think that's about it. Catch y'all later.